Hari Om, and the next mantra will be 14b and 15, origin of the Nadis. And in my previous series, when we read Prana and Pranayama book, we absolutely touch very in detail about Nadis, and I talked to you about some practices, very important feel through the day, or what you do, how it's manifests itself, what is it, how can you tap to this, so very practical types of conversations. Although read the book, but I always bring my personal experience, and I encourage you to check it out. And it doesn't matter if you already heard about this before, it's always nice to listen somebody talking about some subjects from different perspective, and it will, first of all, can come to your mind differently in different levels. So if you rewatch particular videos or read some text many times, it will constantly come to you in different ways. Depends what's happening with you, what is your level, where you are, what your experiences. Also, everybody have different way to express the experience, so you might pick up something better than from others. So listen about other people talking about Nadis and their experience with yoga and this kind of stuff. It can give you some motivation to get into your experience. And of course, your personal experience will be totally different. So let's look at the Nadis. First, I will read the Sanskrit. Ordavam medrada do nambe kandayonih khagandavat tatra nadyan samutpanach sahasranih dvis pathatih teshu nadi sahasreshu dvisap tatiro dadrita. Of course, this is my reading the English letters of the Sanskrit, and totally probably not correct, but it's sometimes just interesting to listen. From the mandra, located above the base of the womb and below the navel, which is the origin point of the Nadis, and it's shaped like an egg, 72 southern energy channels emanate. From amongst these thousands of channels, 72 are considered to be principal. So that's all the mantra, and there's a very nice commentary about this as well. The Nadis, it's just the channels that all around our body that connect just the energy flows. Yeah. So if you're thinking about, I don't know, cycle in climatology, and there's a big one shape. Yeah, it's like a tunnel. Yeah. But at the same time, if you consider each part, you have a lot of separate air masses with different properties that move in different directions, all the same direction, different strengths, different properties, different density. So that's what's happened in our energy body. So it's not just these chakras like a flower. Yes, what is the chakra? Chakra is intersection of many channels where they kind of, like on a highway, they come to the lightning and they join and separate. That's what the chakras are. So it's like concentration, highway intersections of the channels within the body. And all these channels, they're kind of like within the physical, but also outside of our actual physical materialistic body. And they could be stronger, they could be diminished, they could be, some channels could be dry and not working anymore. Some channels could be pumping. Some channels could be, it would be like a blockage concentration somewhere. And that's what we say, like some people say, like activation of the chakra, not activated chakra. So it's basically not free flow of the energy throughout all the channels, all the energy. And through the yoga practice, you clean those channels, open them up and make them stronger, so the current of the energy runs stronger. It's like you exercise your muscles on the body. When you exercise your energy channels, and you will more energy flow through the chakras, you get to tune it, and the changes happening in your life, not just on the physical level, but on all levels. Just try it for yourself. So let's read the commentary. Prana is the etheric or vital force which pervades the entire cosmos, and it's responsible for all manifest existence. We talk about prana a lot in my previous series of Prana Pranayama. Prana is something that's not been created or been destroyed. It's something that exists in the whole world. It's the essence of the world, like a breath of the world. It comprises all beings, whether inanimate, and nothing can live or exist without it. Through closely related to the air we breathe, it is not the same. It's not the same, but analogy. Prana is subtler than the air and can be defined as an energy force that is the substream of every created object in the universe. In a living being, this force is responsible for all life and movement, whether physical, mental, psychic, or spiritual. In human beings, this life force is said to be generated by the kundalini Shakti, which at humanity presents level of evolution is lying dormant at Muladhara chakra. And that's what we talk about Muladhara, how it's dormant there, and how we, through the yoga practice, trying to waken up. And majority of people on this planet, unfortunately, although it's our point of existence as a human, at this whatever incarnation, if you believe in it, or this life, it's to waken up your kundalini, rise it up all the way through and evolved. Yeah. Otherwise, you'll come back and come back and come back to do it all over again. But unfortunately, majority of people don't even ask the question, what's the point of my existence? Rather than sleep, eat, work, have kids. Yeah. Primitive kind of animal type of basic parts of our life. To be happy. What does it mean to be happy? And when you start realizing the kundalini awakening or awakening of my higher self, that's the point of my existence. That's why I come here. That's when you truly become happy. At the subtle level, this pranic force is stored and transmitted to the related organs and parts of the body and brain by the chakras or psychic energy centers, which act as a trigger point here. These highways, here, trigger points. This force is transmitted from the chakras through energy channels, which are called nadis. That's what I explained. The word nadi is derived from the Sanskrit root nad, which literally means to flow. So nadis are energy currents or flow. And I always think about ocean currents or atmospheric currents. Yeah? I come from the geography, geology background, so for me it's more natural to think about this like that. In recent times, the word nadi has been translated as nerve. But some people trying to put chakras as because they're located kind of on the spine, they're located to the nerve knots, and the nadis is the nerves. Yeah. Although nerves are said to be the closest physical correlate, nadis are not nerves, for they are composed of subtle stuff. Nadis are not located in the physical body, they form the infrastructure of the vital or pranic body, which gives life, movement, and energy to the physical body. So when I talk about koshas in my previous video, so the energy body, prana body, is one above the physical. So if you visualize, for example, Matryoshka, like a Russian doll, so you have a bigger doll, within you have smaller doll, smaller doll, smaller doll, smaller doll. This is our koshas, our bodies. And the gross, the most simpler one, will be the physical, the food body, and the others, next the pranic body, and the next you have your mental body, and so on. 5 or 7, whatever bodies you can count. It depends on your school and stuff and how you tune to this. The one body that above, so the pranic body kind of above your physical body, more subtle. That's the one that you wanna, if you wanna change your physical body, you have to do it through your subtle body, through the prana body. If you want to change the prana body, you have to work with your mental or emotional or whatever spiritual body. So it's kind of like next level. Yeah. I talk about this quite in detail, so I'm very briefly mention this. The location of the point for which the nadis emanate is described as being below the navel and above the kundalini. So it's a womb for the women, very easy visualize. So it's this point in between. So the Madra is located between Manipura and Muladhara chakras, so somewhere there. And that's where primary force, primary energy, that's where we get the energy from. And in Tantric, I know we use the both kidneys as well as the both ovaries for women. They're places where you're actually like a source seed of your prana. It could be attributed to Dhara, that's energy that's come from all your ancestors and with which you get your energy from. And I talk about this in the video when I talk about how to put your hara back, when we talk about Dhara Nakasha. The word yoni means womb, and it's symbolically depicted as a red inverted triangle. It is the seat of Kundalini Shakti, the latent spiritual force responsible for all manifestation and transformation. So a lot of more very detailed descriptions here for you, maybe too much detail, but the moment you start practices, you constantly come back to this and it will become you will become accustomed, you will feel it, you will know it. In the seat of Kundalini Shakti, the latent spiritual force responsible for all manifestation and transformation. The word Kanda means root or base, and here it signifies the root plexus or Muladhara chakra, above which the nadi emanate in the psychic body. The Madra is situated just above the triangle or yoni at the opening of Sushumna Nadi, the path of energy flowing through the chakras or psychic centers, which represents the entire spectrum of human personality. So Sushumna is this like a column which all the 7 main chakras sits, and it's more or less located along your spinal column. The nadis, or subtle channels of vital force, flow alongside the central canal of the spinal column and branch out at different psychic centers to vitalize different parts of the body. Some nadis also travel downward for maintenance of the lower extremities. Yeah, so they're like, if you visualize plant or tree, that's what we have. So we have main trunk, a lot of branches. Each branch separates even for more channels, and some of them connected. It is stated in many of the ancient texts, and also here in the mantra, that there are 72 southern nadis in the pranic body, 72 southern with these channels within. And if you are a very experienced practitioner, you might even be able not just feel 72 southern, but also trying to gain a control. But in this existence, in this life, it'll be great if you just can figure out the main channels. 3 main nadis, 7 main chakras. The moment you master those other ones, you will start feeling them too. A person who has developed pranic psychic vision perceives these channels as a current of light. And that's all my practices. I always talk about this, and that's how I work with my pranic body during the yoga practice. Visualize it, you can even change it, the properties of these pranic forces, change the temperature, the light, the energy, what does it bring, and use it for yourself for healing properties, or to bring the energy or awaken something, or opposite cool down. Yeah? Out of the 72 southern nadis which flow throughout the pranic body, only 72 are considered to be important. The rest are subsidiary, so the rest are kind of like connected to others, or they might have particular forces, but I do invite you to get control of all the 72, but just start feeling the main one. And 3 first one will start, and it's the next mantra. It's the Ida, Pingala, and Sushumna. And there's a very simple first practice you do in yoga. They are directed to start feeling those. Good luck with your practice. Hari Om.